Retro Anime. How did we find it? How does it hold up? Unpacking the ins and outs of being an old school nerd and proving that 80s kids can't remember a damn thing right. These are the mindless midlife musings of the anime nerd.
Welcome to Mindless Midlife Musings of the Anime Nerd. I am Rick, and I am joined by the rest of our panel, Vic, Brian, and Lynette. How's it going, everyone, today?
Hey, everyone.
Well, it's round 3, fight, as we talk about the third installment in the Fatal Fury anime trilogy, Fatal Fury: The Motion Picture. Fatal Fury: The Motion Picture is a 1994 Japanese animated feature film based on the SNK video game series Fatal Fury, and was originally released in Japan in July of '94. Now, it was directed by the character designer Masami Obari, and is a sequel to the preceding 2 TV specials, The Legend of the Hungry Wolf and The New Battle.
Hold on. It was, when you say the character designer, so the video game.
Oh, no. The character designer who's handled the series, the anime series, Masami Obari. He was finally given the chance to direct one of these films, and it was the motion picture version. The other 2 were directed by other directors. He just did the character designs for the anime. So, the motion picture, it decided to carve its own path and write an original story rather than follow any of the in-game canon. The story is a globe-trotting treasure hunt to locate the armor of Mars and stop a madman's mission for global conquest. The English adaptation was, of course, also produced by Viz Communications, and was released on home video later that year, if not 95. It's hard for me to remember.
Now, again, you keep on saying Viz Communications, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Is Viz the same people who does like Naruto and Boruto? Viz?
Yes.
Yep, Viz Communications.
The company still exists. They've
been in the game now. They've been in the game a long time. Their real claim to fame, what made them like all their money, was Ranma. Ranma just bankrolled that entire.
Charge an arm and a kidney for.
Yeah, Ranma bankrolled that entire company. So Discotek did do a Blu-ray release of the film in 2017, so it is readily available for anybody who decides that that's the path they want to go down.
What is the path we're going to suggest for you? Will come later in the show.
Well, without a doubt, we'll definitely break this down. So to start, let's start with some things here. So for the most part, I think we can all agree that the theatrical budget made for much better animation quality overall.
80% of the time.
80% of the time. 80% of the time, this looks way better than the first 2 anime.
And then that last 20%, it looks like they brought in the crew that did the really crappy portions from the first one.
Seriously,
to do the action sequences.
It's like maybe the building exploded and they had to finish the movie, and all they could find were some guys on the street. I don't know.
Just having to work on the crappy sequences from the first one.
Some really rough scenes.
Look, this is how bad it is. This is how bad these sequences are. Who historically for our show has never been one to actually point out anything artistically, the artistic aesthetics of the movie. Even I was like, damn, they're dropping the ball hard.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, it's good. Holy crap, what happened?
Yeah, it's looking really great until they had to do some fighting. So it I put the time code in. It's 11 minutes when the first real shit show happens, and it's the first fight.
With Terry?
Yeah, with Terry in the arcade. It's terrible.
Neoland, which was a place.
Yes.
And
he was playing Fatal Fury and bad at it. That's what
it was. I loved that Terry sucks at SNK games. It's okay, bro. Me too.
I love how much SNK they put into this.
Oh yeah. They were brand recognition hardcore, and I was totally into it. It was great, tongue in cheek. I loved all that. But yeah, 11 minutes in, it just absolutely tanks in animation quality. It looks so bad for that sequence, and I don't want that to detract from the first 11 minutes. The first 11 minutes looked great. Excellent work, just all around.
You know what it felt like? You remember Looney Tunes?
Sure.
And it was Ralph, the sheepdog, and right, they're friends, and then as soon as the whistle blew,
Right. Then they were not. Yeah. That's
right,
great.
Yes,
I
yes.
think that they were good drawing, great art, great art. Bad.
We gotta
So
prep. We gotta finish. Okay, do it real quick. Okay, there you go.
this anime is interesting. So it was a bold choice of them to decide to do their own story, an original story. But what it did bring was some original character designs that I thought were actually pretty neat. We had the Vega type character, the Sagat type character.
Oh my God, I called him Dollar General Vega. I really called him.
Yeah, so we had Dollar General Vega, Hauer, and we had the Sagat type Jamin, who's Mr. Honorable Fighter guy. And then we had the female foil for Mai to fight. You just knew when she showed up, it was going to be like one of those things. And the female character, Pani, she does her shopping at the same store Tony shops at from the last anime, because her leggings only had one leg. But,
Which
whatever.
again, like I said last show, it's like I've seen one person like that just recently. So
so
apparently
she's in again.
She took BOGO for real. Like, get one.
You just the one.
Wow.
Um,
I knew we were going to talk about Dollar General Vega.
We have to. Oh, he's in. I got notes about Hauer. Plenty. He's
Look.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to actually give them all Dollar General versions.
well. I mean, they are though, right? So they are. The whole point was that they tried to establish their own Big Four, which was the classic Street Fighter trope. Big Four bosses. They did the same thing with this. They're all Big Four versions, and it's so yeah. They're the Dollar General. I love that you call them the Dollar General. We're gonna run with it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are so fucking awesome. I hit one of them,
Yeah,
and he's the one that really pissed me off the most.
sure.
However, Jamin is
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, Jamin.
Oh, I have.
yes, I'm on.
Do I give you guys my final notes now?
No, we gotta.
No,
We really gotta.
we got 45 minutes for that.
We got to break
Right.
this up a bit. All right, so
Okay.
it opens.
Okay.
This movie actually, it has the strongest writing of the trilogy. I'll say that outright. They have a strong concept. The idea is a globe-trotting treasure hunt, and they start strong with a character that, if you've never played the video games, you have no idea who the fuck he was. He was just some chunky dude who found the first piece of armor. But to the rest of us, he was Cheng Xin-zan.
Usually the first person you'd fight in Fatal Fury 2.
Yeah, and usually the weakest of the bunch. So really did no big deal that he got his ass handed to him pretty fast.
You're talking about he's a legit character.
Yes, the guy who found the first piece of armor and got his Jeep sliced in half. That's Cheng Xingzan, and he's a playable character in Fatal Fury 2. The face he gave was "the fuck." Yes. Nevertheless, it was a good, strong opening. They established pretty easily this is what the story's going to be about, which I'm going to tell you right now is already more plot development than the last two movies combined.
Yes.
I
Out of the
already
three,
knew.
that's definitely my favorite of the three, for sure.
Oh,
Again.
I already knew.
I
we
would
had-
even go so far to say this: the continuity that they brought in from the other two.
Yeah.
I got to give them points on that.
Absolutely, I'll give you that. Totally.
Not
As much
me.
as-
Give them because
Yeah.
they earned it. They earned it.
So it sets it up real nice. All the big four bads for this, they get their moment to shine that they're powerful and intimidating by killing civilians. It's fine. Then we get to everyone's favorite third wheel, Joe Higashi, getting
No.
his what?
No.
Yeah, that's the
We don't
next
get to
scene.
him yet. We don't
Don't?
get to him yet.
What do we get first, Brian?
We get Terry's best weatherman pose.
Hang on, you mean feel the storm? It's coming.
Yeah. The storm is coming. And I just want to point out, and I looked and I watched this. There was not one drop of rain in the whole fucking movie.
Well, what you don't know is that in the original game, Jeff Bogard was a weatherman. And before he got killed by geese, he had been known for accurately predicting the weather for over 20 years. He was really well-known guy. So,
Oh my gosh, you said it with such conviction. I actually believe you for a
and you know what? It's an SNK game, so the storyline might have actually been that thin.
Well, look, I was like, word.
That's right. So we get our quick character intro for our titular hero, and then we get to Joe Higashi and Mai in her milk shirt.
So first off, Joe healed everything.
Yeah.
In 10 months.
That's right. All 24 broken bones, all internal organs. He's back.
Yep. After
Ready to
regained
fight.
making the
mobility.
mistake and telling Mai to shut up.
Like, I love that they gave you 10 months.
Right. They
10
gave
months,
you a
they said.
timeline. They could have made it 2 years and it would have been fine.
Yes.
But no, they chose 10 months. It was their decision. So
He's got amazing healing. He just can't fight.
what I do love is that who he's fighting is Hua Jai, who was from Fatal Fury 1. That was fun. There's tons of these character cameos in this anime, and I appreciate that they went through the trouble of doing that. Hua Jai kicking Joe's ass through basically the entire fight. Oh, wait, never mind. Wait, never mind. Joe has a knee, so fight's over. Joe wins.
So what I put in as my note, I said this fight is a summary of Joe's movie career with the added happily ever after because he wins.
One win they give Joe. The one win in the entire trilogy. It's the one.
And it's against a non-playable character from the first game.
That's right. This is
Never made a
one
comeback.
win.
I was like, this fight is a summary of his entire movie career in all of the series.
So
Just get up.
when this anime came out in 94, 95, I picked it up obviously in VHS, just for those. And I picked up the English. I picked up the English dub because that's
What is this VHS you talk about? You're
right.
speaking about?
Yeah.
You shut your pie hole, Brian.
Square rectangles. Anyway, so when I
too
bought
have
it
it on VHS.
when I bought it, it was in English because I don't even know if I could have found the Japanese one. I don't know. Anyway, I ended up with the English one, and this next scene confused me forever. And it was Joe talking to the girl character and asking if it was really her. Come to find out that it was an idol, Reiko, and it was a voice cameo for her, and they put it in there. Completely lost in the English translation because they don't call her by name. He's just like, "Are you really her?" And that's like it. That's the extent of the horribly confusing scene. I just thought it was Nakaruru because of later, and that time didn't fucking exist in this trilogy. I just had no idea what the hell that was. Nevertheless,
What?
yeah.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Go ahead.
My first note in everything that we talked about.
Yeah.
Is my first thought is, why do they hate Joe so much?
Yeah. Why do they hate Joe so much?
Like, but I mean, he's from Japan.
Right. Yeah. And he's a Muay Thai champion apparently, and one of the only playable characters in the original game.
A Muay Thai champion that can't win.
It just needed someone to just beat on. They wanted. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why they hate Joe so much. Joe's actually a fun character to play as, FYI, if you ever get a chance. It's pretty
Look,
fun.
We have never even talked about what it's like playing these guys. We have never even said, you know what? Yeah. If anybody wants to know, Kim Cap-1 is my guy.
Kim Cap-1 is fucking great. My guy was and always will be Andy Bogard. So bring it.
He wants all the smoke.
So anyway, it's
Did anybody play Terry?
when
Only when
Andy,
Mai is not available.
right, yeah, when Andy wasn't in the game and I had to play King of Fighters and it was just Terry. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'll be Terry.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean that's what are you gonna do? He's so interesting of a character. Nevertheless, I do appreciate the dynamic that the trio has, the supporting trio, Mai, Andy, and Joe. You get some time to kind of banter and have fun with each other, and I appreciated that. I liked I like that it fleshes out their dynamic and made them more interesting. God knows it helped Joe because Joe needs all the help he can get.
So, but it's important to talk about. So we're just talking about the fight with Joe. We're not talking about the whole the after reception or nothing. We're just talking about that fight right now, right?
Well, right after that, at the reception, he meets it's the Reiko cameo. And
Okay, so the Reiko cameo. We
It's a
haven't even
res right
talked
now.
that this fight has happened.
Yeah.
But has Terry fight already happened?
Terry has not fought anybody yet. No, that hasn't happened yet. First, we do all this, and then we get the trio kind of hanging out at his reception, and Mai giving him an elbow for being a smart ass, and and then they're talking about how it's Terry's first time in Japan, and then we cut to Neo Geo Land.
All right.
Which again used to be a real place.
And then we find out Terry sucks at SNK games, which that's perfectly reasonable. So anyway, you're back to Joe's reception because I don't want to talk about the fight because the fight was shit. It was really bad. It was just really bad. And it brings the anime down. So let's skip over that shit altogether.
Yeah.
I do like
the reception.
Go ahead.
There's a very important thing that we got to talk about the fight.
Yeah.
There's one part we got to talk about the fight. Terry basically decides he wants to be Mr. Chivalry, jumps in to defend the girl.
Yeah.
The girl who was supposedly looking for Terry.
Yeah.
Doesn't recognize that he's Terry.
Well, yeah. And I think the answer to that comes later in that you learn that Terry's never done any pro fighting at all, right? So he's clearly this underground name. So to
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that wasn't really that big of a thing back then. So
Julia,
Wait a
he would
minute.
just have been a name.
Didn't the first bad guy have a magazine cover of him on there where it said martial arts champion?
Probably. But, hey.
No. Oh, shit. Lynette came with prestige.
So
Oh,
their
shit.
their own continuity
no.
errors notwithstanding, he's supposed to not be a pro fighter based on his
Oh,
conversation
no.
with Joe.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh no, you're not wrong. You know what it is,
Oh,
Lynette? Is
shit.
by the time we got to the third one, we just blocked out the first two.
I think that's what it is.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Like, I missed that too.
Yeah,
Very-
I was totally operating under the narrative established in this film.
Oh my God.
You're
But
not
that-
wrong. Yeah,
you-
she should have.
Lynette, you have really just came to the point of my whole problem with this whole thing.
Go ahead.
And you started. They keep saying the quiet part out loud.
They do
And she
that.
was like, Terry's supposed to be an underground fighter. Nobody really knows he has a fucking magazine about him.
Right. Yeah.
But he doesn't fight professionally.
No, you're not wrong. It
That's weird.
How do you get a magazine cover from you?
clearly oversight. You know what? It was a local paper. Only low circulation.
Oh,
You know,
in
she-
South, you're right, in South
Yeah.
City.
in
It
South.
was
Yeah.
where-
Underground
South
Fighter
City.
Weekly.
So clearly, Sulia's not going to get that in Greece or wherever the fuck she was living. So
Yo, Lynette,
Mhm.
Lazar, you deserve a toast on that.
absolutely,
That was
hats up.
hats off. Oh my God.
At this, so the fight happens. He tries to be chivalrous. Of course, she runs off. Why? That was necessary, notwithstanding. We go back to the reception now, and Sulia arrives there before Terry because she left before him, I guess.
Mhm.
He runs into Big Bear and asks him for if he's Terry, because I guess she just looked for the biggest dude in the room. Was like, well, that's clearly got to be the guy that beat Krauser. Let me go ask him. No, it wasn't. It was a guy that I think Joe beat, actually. Didn't Fatal Fury 1. Nevertheless, we get Kim. Kim Kaf-Wan is back. He shows up to reception with his family.
Let's talk about this fight with Kim.
With his family.
I really do want to talk about this. All right, so Kim Kaf-Wan shows up. He's there, they're waxing nostalgic with Terry over the last fight, which I appreciated the camaraderie there. I liked how, everybody kind of got along. You could tell that These were a bunch of people that respected each other.
Right.
And then
You won't
this,
see that shit in Street Fighter. You won't see this in Street Fighter.
and then you get this masked monster guy comes through. At this point, we, as a viewer, we all kind of know who it's supposed to be. We're just waiting for them to find out. And Kim, with no skin in this game at all, no obligation to defend anyone at this event. He's a fucking spectator.
With his kids there.
Amnir dies to protect everyone, calling it Kim is the MVP of the movie. So,
But
got
can we-
Loki'd. Dude got Loki'd.
oh, he got Loki'd hard. Yeah, my heart went out to him.
The first thing we got to talk about is the fact that they had, and somehow this happened multiple times throughout this motion picture. They're wearing suits. They're wearing something completely
Right. Not for fighting.
not for fighting,
Yeah.
just for underneath it. They have their gi or they're fighting it there.
They
Oh,
are
yeah.
prepared to fight whenever the time calls for it.
You never
But here's
know,
the
man.
problem.
I'm wearing Muay Thai trunks right now. You want to go? I will hold my hand out and throw some goddamn cherry blossoms, and I will be in these trunks in no time flat. No time.
Done.
Did he also have his gloves on?
Yes.
After his transformation, yes. His
And the
his
foot thing.
and his foot guards. Yeah, everything was on.
Yeah.
Full padding. He was ready.
He pulled a Sailor Moon.
It's 100% magical Sailor Girl transformation. That's
That
absolutely
doesn't make
what that
sense.
was.
That does not
Why-
make sense.
Why would you think it makes sense? Mai does it a bunch of times, and we don't complain because her titties pop out.
No,
Kim does
no,
it once, and we're like,
No.
"What's wrong with this anime?"
No. The problem with Mai does it, and she actually gets less clothes on. So that makes sense.
That's because they didn't include her one stance from the game where she goes from her fighting outfit to like a full-on kimono.
Right? Yeah, she just hides that, I don't know, in her ass or something. So it's, it's anime, man.
It's the
Anime.
guard.
All I could give you, it's
This
anime.
motherfucker's wearing loafers. That means
Arch-
for his
Arch
shoes-
support. Arch support.
Right.
He
Right.
had
Inside
for
the
his
he
shoes.
stuffed into the shoe with his foot guards on, just in case. You know why he did it? Because he was hoping Terry would fight him. He was ready because he wanted to fight.
He was ready
Terry.
for the rematch.
Which leads me to my next point. I think that look at his son's eyes.
Oh, dude. Hang
Is
on.
by far the worst
Right.
reason to not jump in and help your dude.
Here's my note. Ready? So Zombie Chang puts Kim down fast, right? And Joe's like ready to go, and I'm just like, Joe, just shut up. Zombie Chang would snap you like a fucking twig. Like, don't even pretend you have any. You can even stand with this guy. And then Terry opens his mouth. I'm like, God damn it, Terry, just shut up. I can't believe I'm siding with Joe on this one. This isn't some honor-bound fight in a tournament. You are willing to let those kids watch their father die. Get your ass in there and help him. What the fuck, man?
I was like, wait a minute, no. Y'all should have been in there as soon as he went for the first kick and it got caught.
Absolutely. It should have been all four of y'all fucking his shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loki. Terry knew the weakness was the mask.
Right. He
As soon
already
as
knew.
Kim-
Warned.
As soon as Kim got Loki, you should have just been like, oh yeah, you know.
That's
just
it.
do
They
like
should just They should have turned to his much better fighter brother and been like, Andy, elbow to the face now. It's over.
Right?
Tell me again why Andy isn't the hero.
I
really,
still
I
don't
really
know.
don't.
I'm still
I don't understand.
trying to
Look,
figure this out.
I don't know if we want to talk about this, but apparently, if I was I would really think about whether or not I want to get with one of the Bogarts.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get
I
there.
do like that they let Kim, as always with the Fatal Fury animes, Kim gets to use his final move, his desperation attack. His whole Kyaku or whatever it is, the combination, excellent.
What?
Great way for him to finish the fight. Baller. Gold star.
Now, it should be pointed out that this is the base villain that we're dealing with.
This was goon level.
This is goon level.
Goon level,
foot
yeah.
soldier.
Goon level foot soldier. We don't know what his training background is. Only thing that we know is the mask gave him power.
So here's the way I put this together, and see if you follow my train of thought on this. If they put those masks and do whatever they do to anybody, it makes them more powerful. So if you take somebody who already has a power level and you give them the same treatment, they become even more powerful.
Right.
Chang Xingzong,
If they know how to fight and you give them that mask, their power level is over 9,000.
right, so Chang Xingzong being an actual fighting character from the series and putting him through that same process and just that much more of a threat than a standard goon. So I would say this was boss level goon. This was the last ninja. You know what I mean? Like if there's an army of them, Chang's the one you'd fight last because everybody else would be wiped out. So that's to give Kim some credit. He was dealing with an SNK boss at this point.
Okay.
Nevertheless,
one of them because we'll bring them back up later.
that's fine. Absolutely. Let's definitely do that. So Sulia sees this go down and she's like, hey, so I can't explain everything to you right now, but I really need you to jump on a plane with me, fly to the Mediterranean, go to a remote island in a cave before they find the armor. Nah, we've definitely...
goes,
yeah, they're like,
okay.
we're
At
in.
least they didn't take Terry's motorcycle there.
Well, yeah, let's go. I'm like, nah, you have time. We have at least 5 minutes. We're gonna be waiting for a plane.
5
or
minutes. We have planes to travel on.
Yeah, like there's plenty of time. You need to explain some shit before I drop $1,800 on a ticket. Like, what's going on?
Well, I
Or
do
she's
like
paying
the
for the
fact,
ticket, then it's like, let's go.
I do like the fact that Terry asked to borrow money.
Oh yeah, I do love that they definitely show him financially struggling. That was excellent.
Yeah. He's like, I'm so poor, Joe. I know
Can
you
buy
get
my
your
air-
butt whooped all the time, but can you buy my plane ticket?
He gets paid to take dives. I think that's what happens with Joe. So he makes his fortune taking dives. Glass Joe. So we get an info dump during a travel montage. It's nice. It's very nicely animated. The set paintings are beautiful. To give it some credit, set design, backgrounds are very nice. And I do just want to note how great the bathing suit designs are. So they match their characters really well. Like
What
Joe
bathing
is
suit design?
so when they get to
When they're in a
Greece,
cave.
the cave, like Joe's in a Speedo and like a hoodie, which is just so Joe. And Mai's in some
Yeah.
kind of
That's very Joe.
twist out bikini thing. It's like so very her. And Andy's in some sort of weird, because the man has no fashion sense, some sort of weird crop top and shorts combo thing. I don't know. And Terry's in motherfucking jeans.
Yes.
Everybody came to go to the beach, but Terry is in jeans.
But I think that it brings up a wonderful point. My next note, right after the first note, was my second thought is my bad. Why do they hate Joe and Mai so much?
Yeah. So Mai and Joe are absolutely supporting characters. They're never anything more than either comedic timing or a love interest MacGuffin for Andy. They're two roles. Joe is designed to make you cringe, and Mai is designed to titillate. Those are their only goals. Mai's sole purpose in this anime is to give Andy a full character arc, and they succeed at that. He gets several characters in this actually get a full-blown character arc where they develop through the film. Andy being one of them.
But Joe does not.
Joe does not. Joe is relegated to I am comic relief. I'm here to make you cringe or laugh. And same thing with Mai. Mai has like basically no character development, really. Very minor. They're all there to support the Bogarts. Bogarts are key. But yeah, no, they do some fun Indiana Jones like catacomb crawling and roll up on a map. Andy, once again, showing why he should be the main character. He's the only character that immediately notices that all the cave paintings match modern fighting techniques.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, oh yeah, how about that? fucking help.
That's not important right now.
And you figure the Street Fighter knows that.
You're
not,
right.
You know,
No.
none of
It's
the
Andy.
traditional fighters.
So then they start. Now we've gotten to the treasure hunt. The treasure hunt begins officially.
But
Everybody
even
agrees.
this realization, it doesn't mean shit.
It means nothing. I mean, it does come up later. It pays off to a degree, but that's it. It's a very minor.
The payoff is more location as opposed to
Yeah, absolutely. It has no bearing on.
the fight or anything.
It's just geography. That's all these cues hint to. But I do like that they found a way to incorporate those settings. You know, like they made it a reasonable thing, like why they would have to go to these locations. It's reasonable to assume that the Krauser family would have had this armor based on the narrative they established. So I give them credit. But
The problem is, oh my gosh, I feel like I need to go ahead and say this part.
go ahead, do it.
All right. Part of saying the quiet part out loud is John towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, why is he obsessed with this armor? It should all be about who is the strongest fighter.
Sure.
And ultimately, that's what this whole thing is about, is who is the strongest fighter.
That's what
Not
the game's
who is
always
the
been about.
strongest armor, right?
Yeah, right.
So with Krauser having a piece of the armor, you're saying that it's probably possible that his strength may have came from part of the armor.
I don't think so, because I think it was pretty clear that Krauser didn't use it, which to me made Krauser a more interesting character. The idea that he had this, but now the flip side is that I think only a member of the Gaudamus line can use it. Isn't that kind of
I
established?
think that is correct.
I think that's
Could be-
what they were trying to hint at, was that only certain family bloodlines could use it.
Right. So even if they had it, I don't think it would have
Okay.
given Krauser any more power. But let's assume it did. The fact that he didn't use it made him a more interesting character, because it's like, I could have had this, I chose not to. You know, like I'm like, fucking A, dude, get it. that was my
Was
my
that
best.
Russian or was that Russian or German?
It's like Eastern European. That's the best I got.
That's the best you get.
It's regional. Just go with it.
Ancient Europe.
It's one step away from Transylvania. All right. So
Fair enough. I just wanted to say
yeah.
I'm talking about. But
So, yeah,
all right. So thank you for giving me that. I still think that that point,
yeah,
has merit because of the fact that everybody here is talking. Hell, even when Terry is bringing it up that we should let these guys come along, his argument is these are world-class fighters as well.
Right. Yep.
As well.
As well. Yes.
But he's a nobody.
Yeah, he is. You know, Chico Pro.
Right? Like, how does she know? They never talk about it, but you defeated Krauser. How do you know that? How do you know that?
What is the grapevine there that you defeated Krauser? But you know what? It's just how these things are, right? The word got around. I don't know about you, but I hear about underground street fights all the time, being a Florida resident, and I keep track all the world class.
It was their monthly fanzine, KOF Monthly.
Right. So you know, you bring up Jamin again, Brian, and he is one of the few characters that gets a story arc as well. It's a minor story arc because he's a villain, but he and Laucorn, they're two villains that actually get a story arc. They really did piece in they shoehorned in a lot of characters, but gave some of them some actual genuine growth. I liked watching Jamin go from the stoic henchman to seeing that he had a relationship with Sulia, probably as her personal protector, to having a relationship with Laucorn where he became his, or he protected the whole family or whatever. But then, you know, having the insight to judge that, you know, yeah, I can kick some ass, but I can't save them. And the only way I can save them is by letting go. And I just thought that was pretty great for a character they fucking made up. for this movie. They gave him something to do, a reason to do it. I don't know.
I'm going to wave the bullshit flag on that one.
Come on, let me have it.
I'm going to wave the bullshit flag. I actually have. There is no reason for any of the 4 characters that we've gotten brought onto the expedition.
Yeah.
To even think that they were going to stand in chat because they got their ass mollywopped.
Oh, they did. 100%.
In the first movie, he had to deal with the master teaching him how to be strong like a tree, right? in the second one, they realized the only way they were going to beat Krauser was to fight like a fucking pack of wolves.
Right.
And come at each other with. Now, what training or happened?
I'm 100% with you. Go ahead.
What training or happened makes you think of growth? We're talking about the growth that they have. They have no fighting growth, which fucking matters in a fighting movie.
Yes. Terry, it's one of my chief complaints about the film is Terry starts and ends this movie basically in the exact same place, with the exception of apparently turning into a god-killing machine for about 60 seconds. Instantaneously. That's it. That's all he does.
That was a Deus Ex Machina. They were like, we
100%.
made the boo-boo of not letting Andy be the hero, so now we have to figure out how to let him use a spirit bomb to beat the bad guy.
The only character, which by the way, just again to defend my main Andy, the only character shown to actually be training at all in this movie is Andy, and he's punching trees. He's punching trees, but he's the only dude shown to be training at all. So, at least he's trying to improve.
Yes, sure.
Hey, but the thing about it is that we've had energy blasts come out. We've had tornadoes. And he was like, you know what? Instead of hitting this wall or this mountain, that tree is going to be the thing that lets me know I still got this shit.
Well, you know, trees in Iraq, I think they're a lot tougher than you give them credit for.
Yeah, those desert trees.
They've seen some shit. But no, you know, it could have been anything. You're right. It could have been a concrete hole.
I really can't defend that. Like, you knocked that all out the park. Those trees have seen some shit.
Oh, shit.
Actually, hold on. This is 1994. Would these trees have seen some shit yet?
Would have actively seen some shit at that time, right?
That region has been perpetually at war for centuries.
Weren't we knee deep in the Persian Gulf War back then? I don't know. Anyway, so it's not a historian.
We're trying to find out the strength of these trees and how they can
those trees survived the Crusades.
Contribute to the training.
Like apropos of nothing. You know what's funny is I was watching this with my son, and he's watching the scene with me, and he goes, "Can't even break a tree? What's wrong with him?"
They're Miyagi trees.
I would love to see your kid break a tree.
They're Miyagi trees.
I was like,
you got to be nice to them.
I was like, "What are you kidding me, man? That's a big tree. Have you ever punched a tree? That shit hurts." So, anyway, so Brian Gabriel agrees with you 100%.
A fucking tree.
Nevertheless,
like I said, they're Miyagi trees. That's how.
That's right. You gotta.
So, back to the tree. Right?
You can't just let the tree go.
Just how we've been talking about Jamin pretty much for a while. Is it time to go to Hauer?
Sure, let's do Hauer. Hauer
That's a
and
5-minute conversation.
Hauer and his discount Vega bullshit with his Claire's lipstick.
He was taken out with a bitch slap. Like, really, he was taken out with a bitch slap. That's pretty much what it was.
It was a bitch slap that had just been punching strong Iraqi trees. So
basically,
you know, pimp slapped.
Before we go to there, we have to talk about his fucking character growth.
The lack thereof. Go ahead, Brian. If you, because I didn't see any. Lay it on me.
They're not-
Oh no! I would be completely facetious on that part.
Yeah, he was definitely a character that started and ended quickly. He served one purpose, to piss off Andy.
Right.
With his only goal in life.
But
He was the
How
Joe
did
Higashi
he-
of the bad guys.
There you go.
there you go.
That's it.
So,
No notes.
for the second time in the episode in a row, I have timestamps.
Attaboy. Nice. Let's bring it.
Not that.
48 minutes and 24 seconds.
All right.
I want you guys to know that I took the time to actually stop and rewind this. So I made sure I got all this right.
Yeah.
We got us a sweet young ninja babe all the way from Japan to dance with us.
Yeah, Duck King. Duck King
I
announcing.
just feel like that whole sentence just shits on the definition of a ninja.
It's without a doubt the opposite of what it means to be a ninja.
the
The whole statement.
whole statement.
But you know what? The fact that it came out of Duck King's mouth, just made me understand why it was said at all. Because
Yeah.
Duck
Duck
King,
King was a little different.
Duck King is a useless fucking character. He was FF1 also, wasn't he?
I don't remember if he's one. I know he's for sure in 2.
He's for sure in 2. Anyway, useless character. But that whole scene, that whole discotheque, dance club, whatever the fuck that was just, we need a reason to drop as many character cameos as we can. So then they did.
Right?
So Billy makes his reemergence in that one.
Billy
Mhm.
Kane's back. Yep. Billy Kane, Richard Meyer, Nakaruru, who's not
Nakaru's never
Nakaruru.
shut down.
She's actually Reiko, but
Mhm.
dressed as
It costs, but-
Nakaruru. You know, it's fine. Jubei is back because we definitely needed more of the old pervert. Yeah, so that whole scene is just like cameo after cameo after cameo.
That
Oh, and yes, Duck King was in Fatal Fury 1 as well.
There wasn't even a fight.
So
Oh,
here's
was
the-
there?
There wasn't. And here's the thing about that scene. It's mostly useless. I would argue it's completely useless if it weren't for the fact that they actually gave themselves a tiny reason to be there, and that was to get information out of Master Jubei. But
Mhm.
Billy Kane didn't need to be here at all because it follows up with a scene with Geese, who didn't need to be in this movie at all.
No.
All they had him in there for was to show off Raging Storm, so they had something they could put in the trailers. Like, that's his only point. Geese is
it's not even 100% Raging Storm.
right, not even 100%. It's just a completely wasted. They wasted
So-
animation time.
I would even go so far to say that it definitely showed that Geese is actually less than Joe.
Yeah, I think it was just to show that he was alive. That's it.
No,
Right,
no,
again, though,
but here's the reason why. Follow my thought process.
But we knew he was alive.
right from the second one. What's your
Joe-
thought? Go ahead. So he's weaker than Joe at this stage.
Joe got his ass whooped by Hauser. 24 broken bones.
Yeah.
It took him 10 months.
Yeah.
To fully heal.
That's right. To fully heal.
Meanwhile, at least 2, possibly even 3 years have gone by since the fight between Geese and Terry.
And so it took
Uh-huh.
one
And-
full movie plus 10 months.
Huh?
One full
Dude.
movie plus 10 months.
That's right.
Right.
He's still not 100%.
And he's still not 100%.
Well, man, listen, Geese is older. As you get older, you heal a bit slower. And
He got hit by the spirit tree.
yeah,
Like,
he got
it's-
hit. And the force of Mother Earth.
You got to go to stop the devil's advocating. You got to stop this shit. This is some bullshit. I go through and put in the work.
You are absolutely right.
I put
By
in
all
the work for
metrics,
Yeah.
Joe is stronger than Geese at this point in the anime.
Mhm.
You are right.
Joe's
So
at
why
is-
100% ready to fight.
So
After
why
10
is Geese even in this? Like, he just didn't need to be in this at all. Just whatever. Notwithstanding, it's anyway. We jumped ahead to get to the dance club thing. What else we got for Howard other than getting his ass handed to him? What else did he do?
He did some weird monologue, didn't he? He did some like creepy monologue about how the real power is finding someone's weakness, and that is how you win the battle. And I'm like, dude, you got pimp slapped and lost.
So that whole scene is kind of interesting because first of all, it shows Laucorn buying off local government, which is actually a good scene. Because it seems innocuous, but it actually helps explain how he's able to get away with blowing so much shit up, because he's bought off the local government. Yeah, he's a blatant disregard for laws. But anyway, right after that, and he tells. So in the English dub, he walks into the room and he tells Howard, "Stop wearing that mask for a bit." That's the line. You're like, okay, whatever. In the Japanese version, it's a very different line that has a very different connotation. He tells them to stop using the masked army because they're too conspicuous. So very different things. In the Japanese dub, they established we're no longer going to use these masked goons to do our work because just to make a mess of shit. We're going to keep things tight. In the English dub, he's just like, "Want to see your pretty face, Howard? Take your mask off." Like, it's really just not like a thing.
Why do we sound like Christopher Walken?
Thank you. And so then it's at that point that Howard starts ripping into Jamin for being honorable.
We need to let that one breathe. We need to let that moment breathe. We need to let that moment breathe. Vic, you are 100% correct. I did not realize that was Christopher Walken. Holy shit, we need to let that moment just... First of all, I had no idea you had a Christopher Walken impression in here.
You're welcome.
Had no idea.
Everybody's got a Walken. They're not good. Everybody's got one.
Long-time listener of the show, he's going to be impressed.
I appreciate it. It's always great hearing from our buddy Chris. He's good. Good people. But yeah, at that point, you're right, Lynette. He starts going off on some bullshit tirade for no reason other than to show that he's a different kind of character than Jamin. Like, I have to prove that I have some value to this, so I'm going to talk for 20 seconds straight about how mean of a fighter I am.
Looks like he hasn't zipped his pants. I think you can totally tell that he's a different character. Like, seriously, I really thought we were going to have a dude moment where instead of a girl's boobs popping out, his junk was going to pop out. Like, he's just going to go...
No.
Because that line where he looked like... because it did. It's like his belt, and then there's like this huge space. I was like...
Yeah, his pants have this like fascinating wrinkle design.
I was like, I don't think guys have décolletage that they need to do down there.
Well, it's
I don't know.
Showing it off. So they do the thing where they do the trope where fighters put away food like there's no tomorrow. They're bottomless pits. They do that bit. And that's where Joe starts telling Terry he should go pro. Shit like that. And that's where Terry tries to do his "I'm going down the road of being a true fighter" bullshit that Ryu does. Like, no, you don't get to be Ryu now. You've had 2 other movies to be Ryu. You're not Ryu. Stop.
And
I can't stop rolling my eyes as we're talking about it.
Right?
Like I'm rolling my eyes and it keeps on fucking rolling.
Because I'm only here to prove myself. It's like, oh, fuck you.
No way.
Shut up.
The only one who did that is Andy. I'm telling you. He comes closer to Ryu than anybody. He hits a tree. Ryu just jumps in the air. There we go. They each have that primal. They each have that focus.
Didn't Ryu do the same thing? He jumped up and hit a tree?
Ryu kicked some trees. Yeah, he kicked some trees. So if it works for the main character of Street Fighter, it works for Fatal Fury fighters too.
Big logic.
The dub, I wanted to bring up the conversation about Joe telling him to go pro and that whole bit, because the dub turns this very innocuous conversation about not having a girl into Joe hiring sex workers. So talking about money can get you things you want. And then Terry's like, yeah, but money can't buy you a girlfriend. And Joe's like, oh, I got lots of groupies, but no girl. And he's like, hey, wait a minute, you don't have a girl either. You know, like that's the Japanese version.
Okay.
In the English version, he tells him, you know, money can't buy love, Joe. And Joe says, true. You'd be surprised how easy it is to rent sometimes. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Anime hates Joe and just wants you to question everything Joe does. It's
Oh
really,
my god.
yeah,
oh my
I'm
god.
telling
oh
you,
my
man.
God. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Very
I'm
different.
so glad I watched it subbed.
Oh no,
my
you were
God.
much better off. Much better off.
You know
but
what?
it,
I'm gonna go
I
ahead and
had
say-
to.
Joe is what would happen if Kevin Spacey became a multi.
Oh Christ. Yeah. It's not a great line. It's not. It doesn't age well. Celia makes it awkward, asks about Terry's dead girlfriend, whatever. Scene's over. Point is, Joe hires hookers because apparently
Yeah.
being a pro Muay Thai fighter isn't enough to get him a girl.
But look,
Yeah,
we also
right
want to
now.
go. We also want to go ahead and point out. What's dead girl's name?
I was just going to talk
Lily.
about Lily. Lily's Force Ghost comes back.
Uh,
Brian rolls his eyes for everyone listening to the show.
I'm still trying to figure out why she plays such a large role.
Right? He knew her for 5 minutes. Anyway, at least she's useful in this one, and she tells Terry that he needs to move on and love again. Like, that's...
look, but here's the thing, though. I would. She has no credibility.
Oh, none whatsoever.
Like she is legit responsible for his father dying.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
And that part
What's his
hasn't
name?
been.
Terry's ever had to love, and he can't let go.
Yeah.
Right, that part was never ever brought up in the flashback.
No,
he had
no,
her falling on her fucking head. That was brought up. We have. Shit.
he'd forgiven her for being a pawn
Look,
of
that-
geese.
Uh,
But yeah,
we-
he never addressed.
Time out. Oh my god, this is the part that does not make sense to me whatsoever.
Just this part? Go on.
We see in the flashback of Lily her slapping a poison drink out of his hand.
Yeah.
Just for Terry and Joe to be taken down by a poison fucking drink.
Yes.
So, I actually have a note regarding this, and it has to do with Howard. I do not think they intended the scene to play that way. It totally looks like Howard drugged them. I don't think that's what happened. So, here's what we can establish. All the main four baddies, not the main four baddies, but the three baddies, the henchmen, they all have an elemental power, right? Ani's power is water manipulation. Jamin's power is fire manipulation. He does all that shit. And Howard's power is air. Manipulates air. Well, I think when they showed Howard's face right before Terry and Joe go down for the count, I think he was sucking the air out of the room. I think he literally making them pass out from oxygen deprivation. That's
I don't think that's a magical power. I think that's kind of just what he is.
Well, that's on a roll today.
Oh, let's apply ice to that Jamin-sized burn wound she just laid on Howard.
Holy shit.
It's amazing. Yeah, you're right. He just showed up. Like, oh, fuck it.
You can stop.
Lynette's on fire today, y'all. She's on fucking fire.
Fucking hell. Oh, Christ. Hey, I had a fun note for you guys. Can you imagine how much easier this movie would have been if they had the internet and cell phones?
Oh yeah.
Thinking about when they are in the library and they make the big discovery. It's like, oh, shit, we should go check out Krauser's castle. Like, that would make sense. They have to literally fly Joe to the other two to tell them the plan because there's cell phones.
I will also even say that these motherfuckers don't know the value of a whisper.
No.
100%. Right. Because and I have a note about this too. You ready? My question is, did Jamin have to be naked to make that call? Right? Because after the thing, next scene is Jamin making a call to Laucorn to tell him that they're going to Germany. He's butt-ass naked in his hotel room. So my questions are, did he just get that information and he happened to be like getting out of the shower? And was he the guy in the library? So then he went back to his hotel, took a shower, then decided, oh shit, I should call the boss and tell him where these people are going. Like, what are the logistics involved?
Or he had called Laucorn. Laucorn didn't answer, says, you know, I'm going to take a shower. And then Laucorn called him back.
Like, it just, logistically, it made no sense. If you have vital information about the whereabouts of the people you are being told to tail, you call your boss right away. You don't wait until you're naked in a window. That's a weird...
Maybe he ran so fast his clothes fell off.
He did burn, or he burned them off.
His suit wasn't flame retarded. I don't know. It was just such a weird... It totally caught me.
Here's the question. How could he call his boss, but Joe had to fly?
Right. Yeah. So, Jamin...
he had a hotel room with a phone.
Right. So he had a hotel room with a phone. But Joe clearly, they don't know where the hell... Yeah, they were.
See,
they had to...
I bring this back to, we're saying the quiet part.
Yeah, we are. Absolutely.
No, but even in this moment in time, we're saying Joe had to fly. Right?
Yeah, had to. He couldn't just call him.
Well, let's be honest. There's a possibility Mai would have unplugged the hotel phone just to have private time with Andy.
Mai had to use a payphone to call for Master Jubei. Like, they showed her using a payphone, which I'm sure to you young people watching this, so payphones were these stations that were just periodically placed randomly within a city. You could stop and pick that phone up, put money into it, and call someone. It was the damnedest thing in the world.
Did you have that written down, or you really off the cuff just made that definition of faith?
I literally just made that definition up. But it's not made up because it's exactly what it was, people.
Yeah,
and for you younger folks,
I will only tweak it and say that the payphone was every fucking where.
Oh yeah, every fucking way. There were more payphones.
Nowhere.
I understand that the younger generation may understand it like this. There were more payphones in your city than there were Starbucks.
Yeah.
So, nevertheless, they showed her using one to make contact with people. So clearly, it's not like phones didn't exist, but Joe apparently had no way of knowing where they were, I guess, because they just didn't talk about it. I don't know, but Joe had to fly. They had to get rid of Joe. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Terry had just had his fill. He's like, Joe, you should totally fly all the fuck the way over there and tell them this. And Joe's so stupid, he was just like, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to fly out there. That's the guy.
And once he left, they were like, oh, thank God he's gone.
Like, I have gone from rolling eyes to blinking aggressive. I can't. I don't need to blink right now. I just like blink in Morse code of what?
And here's hey, but look, like here's your bonus. Here's your benefit for it. 37 minutes in, you get a My shower scene. There you go. That had to perk you right up, right? Everybody wanted that. Necessary? No. Nice? Sure. And then Mai comes on strong with the "please rape me while I'm sleeping" vibes.
Oh yeah.
To which Andy's like, I'm gonna work out over here.
And then sleep on the couch.
Please stay away from me.
We're practicing COVID precautions. Please do the social distancing.
She was just coming on so fucking strong. Even Andy was like, sweet Jesus, just take a minute, all right? Oh, Christ. Anyway. I
have one more question. I should have asked this a long time ago.
No, let's go.
Is Big Bear dead?
I'm pretty sure he's dead, right? Like Chang Masked or Super Chang, whatever I called Zombie Chang, he blasted a hole through that motherfucker, right? Like
it did look like it was a hole through, right?
Like he's dead. Like I'm pretty sure they killed Big Bear.
I feel
Which
like
again,
Brick.
escalating the threat, making him that much more of a foil for Kim to have had to fight alone. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah.
Oh, right?
But they,
Just checking Big Bear's game appearances in mainline fighting games. That was in mainline Fatal Fury games. That was it.
There you
He
go.
was in 1, 2, and 2 special.
That's it. They
All
killed
the
him off.
ambition
Damn
doesn't
it.
count.
They killed. I'm calling it. It's official. Mindless Midlife Musings of the Anime Nerd has called it. Big Bear is dead. Rip 1994. Oh shit. So anyway, it's let's move this train forward a bit here, a couple stations.
train or train?
Well,
Right.
we're derailing, right? I mean, you know.
Can I move it forward a second?
Please, let's go, bro.
I want to go to the fight with the person who had no character growth in the past 10 months.
Mr. Joe?
No, not Joe.
Oh, okay.
Blood.
Oh, Lawrence Blood. Oh, fucking great. Yeah. That's right. They go to the castle to retrieve the piece of armor. Pawnee shows up. Lawrence Blood's there. Go ahead.
Lawrence Blood actually said the same thing that got his ass whooped in the second movie.
Yeah.
She's too strong.
Yeah, I know. He's a fucking idiot.
Like
Lawrence.
at least he was able to say. He didn't say something like, "I'm second."
I was
only
just gonna
to-
say. I bet
he
you he
didn't say
doesn't.
that.
I bet you he doesn't run around saying I'm second only to Krauser. He don't say
Yeah.
that shit anymore.
And he also had a magical girl transformation.
He did. That's right. He did. He went from suit to full matador in no time flat.
Which this we in the previous episode we said that it feels like Terry should have been the one to get the castle.
Right.
And they actually answered and said that Blood
They
is the
did.
one who inherited the castle.
They said
Yes,
blood
they
got
did.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Which I
But
mean,
I'll go back and I'll still say that Terry can still come back and beat the shit out of him and still get the castle.
dude, I think Joe could beat Lawrence Blood at this point. So
We definitely know Andy can.
that's right. Yeah, no doubt. Maybe he got it by default, right? Like the castle was supposed to go to Terry because he killed Krauser, and Terry was just like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna take this it back to his mom. I human trafficked him far too long," and then he like walked away, and Lawrence Blood walked in. He's like, "Yibs, Yibs,"
Yeah.
and nobody argued. She's just like, "Dibs, it's mine now." Ha ha ha.
And not only that, I would like to point out that the same thing that happened to Maya in part 2 happened to Maya in part 3.
Yes, absolutely. Because once again, her only purpose is to serve as a prop to build up Andy's character.
I must,
Oh.
I must, my Shirini of the Shirini school will teach you a lesson. What lesson what exactly was the lesson that you taught?
The lesson
Bradley.
that she taught him was that using me as a human shield will save your ass for at least one fight.
Yes.
That's the lesson that she taught.
You only
You get
get one.
one. You get the
You
one
only get
shot.
one.
No, it's actually at least one because
Yep.
in part 2, Blood did not get to make it to the second fight.
Well,
It-
yeah,
it-
there's
Estimated. It's the estimated one.
it's estimated one.
Howard got 2 fights.
Howard
that
did
was
get a
gonna-
second fight. Yeah.
And that was it was smooth as shit that he brought her up as a deterrent.
It was great. It was very cool, and it showed enough of a moment of where what Andy considered to be. This is why I said he had more character growth than any other character. It was a moment where he doubts himself because he was afraid of hurting her. Just like his whole goal is protecting everybody. In fact, here's the thing about Andy, which we're going to get into that now. So Andy has this very interesting relationship with his brother, everybody. He is absolutely looking at Terry. Like every time he's looking at Terry, he's looking at him like he adores his big brother. He's looking at him with like respect, admiration, like he just absolutely over the moon about his big brother. And then on the other hand, he's always ready to defend him. Every time Terry has to get in a fight or Terry's got to do some shit, Andy's like, I'll do it. And Terry's like, I got this. Sit down. And Andy's that way about everybody. Andy has to be the protector. That's kind of his thing, right? He has to protect Mai. He has to protect Joe. He has to protect. And then when he couldn't protect Mai, when he couldn't save her, that's what dealt him it wasn't losing to Howard that pissed him off. It was that he wasn't good enough to protect Mai that pissed him off. And he spends the latter half of that anime trying to make up
that tree up.
Fucking that Iraqi tree to hell. And it's but that's his arc, is coming to grips with the fact that the two of them need to work together, right? And they resolve that arc by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has to have his moment in the sun where he feels redeemed, and he fucks Howard up. Good on him. But Mai also saves Andy's ass, and that's kind of where Andy gets to learn to evolve a bit. Is Mai isn't just somebody that needs to be saved. Mai's somebody that can do the saving too. And that's how the relationship changes.
And so my whole point about that, is, was it necessary?
Was it necessary?
Was it necessary for Mai to change into her fight outfit just to deliver one hit?
Probably not, but thank you.
Okay.
I just
My response was, I'm glad she did.
Everybody else is changing into their fighting outfits for everything.
Right?
Oh,
Equal opportunity.
My changing, that's fine.
But she's the only one that has to get naked.
Because her outfit is so tiny. She kegels it, right? And then when she changes, she has to like take the outfit out, like put it on, so that she can,
It's like Flash with in the ring.
You're right, his little ring. Yeah, she just keeps it stored somewhere else.
She doesn't have super speed to change it off. Nobody can see it.
It has to happen on camera. So yeah, it's the one thing about Fatal Fury animes you can always say is at least they use the actual moves for the most part, right? There have been a couple instances where like, what the fuck was that? For the most part, they let them use their actual moves. I guess she used several of her actual moves in this anime. So props there. Good for her.
Now that you hear the moves, do you prefer the moves in Japanese or in English?
I prefer them in Japanese because in Japanese they can say them properly. The American voice actors try like hell to say them, but they don't always. Not only do they not always name it or nail it, sometimes they omit the name of the move entirely in the English dub. They just choose not to have them say the move, and instead they just have them yell.
Which is sometimes safer, better than saying someone's name incorrectly.
Right, better than doing it wrong, I guess. So
you know what? If I was on Droll, I could see that there would be like some type of meme of the difference of all the yells for super moves. That's not it. That's not it. This is it. That's not it. This is it.
We see a perfect example of that, Brian, was like when Street Fighter 2 first launched.
Oh God!
People were like, "All you can do, and all you can." It's like a Shoryuken.
Yeah.
Do a God. How did they say fireball incorrectly? I forget.
Man.
The hurricane kick. There, do the.
A token. Everybody thought they were calling out for a token. It was, and so I mean, obviously, soundboards for the video games notwithstanding, it's the thing of it is that they. Even in English dubs of the Street Fighter anime, they still couldn't get the move names right for a lot of it. Yeah. In the English dub for Street Fighter 2, they called it a Shoryuken, the whole fucking anime. Oh, I mean, they clearly, and they didn't even try with the Hurricane Kick. They just called it Whirlwind Hurricane Kick because they just did not even want to.
You know what?
Yeah, it's really hard to say Tatsumaki Senpu Kyaku.
Apparently, it's incredibly hard, and you just tak 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 Farukan, and that's dead.
You know what? I would love to have a contest. I would love to have a contest where we have people just submit their best fighting move voice. Like-
Please, absolutely, please do submit. Send it in. Send it to the show. We will use it. I promise. Please send us your best fighting game move impersonation.
Voiceover.
Yeah, the voiceover. Your voiceover. It's
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to set up a soundboard, aren't we?
hell yeah. We'll set up a soundboard. Thank you for volunteering, Vic. Shit. So anyway, this story it's moving forward. The characters that have had their growth. Everything's coming down to the big final moment with Laocoon arriving and getting his last piece of armor. And what's really neat about this scene is that the second Laocoon puts his crown on, he not only becomes a god, but he completely changes the animation team. Everybody looks 100% different for the rest of the anime.
Yeah,
The entire last
that is
battle,
the power of the armor.
completely new
I
crew.
would even go so far as to say, this is the first time where we are really introduced to, what do they call, like the Sharingan and the Byakugan? Everything is based on their blood.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a sequence, which, by the way, it is beautiful. It's a very beautifully animated sequence. It's just so horribly out of place because it doesn't match the rest of the design for the movie. Like, art direction went in a completely different direction. It's like they knew they were putting their whole budget on this action scene, and they just farmed it out to another studio entirely.
You know, they even had some. He had, did you see the fist come through?
Dude,
Like
it was great sequence. It was really
Yeah.
cool, man. To me, the shot with like Andy backflipping to evade Laocoon's fists and then like launching into a Korepadan attack, and like all of the way that the characters, the blocking of the fight was great. The characters like leaning on each other and helping each other, get out of a bad situation. That whole sequence is great. I loved the end fight to this better than any other fight in any of the Fatal Fury movies. It's a
Although
shame.
they did
Go
have a Joe moment. I had to
Of
mark
course.
it down.
Absolutely.
At 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 30 seconds, Joe goes, "That was an uncool start."
Get cratered into a wall just like he did with Krauser.
Poor
But
Joe.
he gets up. He gets back up. Let's give it to
Yeah,
him.
he
This
does
time
get back up. but
he
he
doesn't
lays
have
down and he
24 broken bones.
It is
comes
clear
down
that
and he
they.
goes, "That was an
It-
uncool start." He tries to-
It's
Mistakes were
clear.
made.
Yeah, no, it's clear that part of his healing, he was given iron and calcium to make stronger bones. It's clear.
Lots of milk. That's how Mai got the free shirt.
Mhm.
They just kept giving Joe milk. cut her a shirt in the process. Man, yeah. So I do. I enjoy the fight.
Yeah.
I liked how so it's funny bit. Harry's trying to be noble, and he's trying to get Mai to safety. Like, yo, you got to take Sulia and get out of here. I'm like, nah, dude. You need as many fighters in this fight as you can get. Sulia can
Right.
walk her own ass out the door.
Don't be geeks to steal this bitch. Bring his ass in.
Just,
That-
I don't
right?
bring everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Signal
Mai
flare.
has
Do
beat-
what you gotta do.
Is it Mai has beaten more of these bad guys than you have at this point? Okay, you need as many people as you can get.
Yo, that is an awesome point.
It's just
Like it doesn't make sense that he's able to actually stand up. There was no growth in Terry.
again, greed. Why? Just why? How does Terry beat Laocoon? He doesn't. His girlfriend has to
Yeah.
die. So Sulia has to die, and then Terry beats bad guy by punching him really fucking hard. burn knuckle to the chest. Then
we even skipped over burn knuckle versus boost knuckle.
right, burn knuckle versus. But that's what I'm saying. Like Terry didn't even beat Jamin. Jamin is like, no, I'm out.
What?
That's tough.
I'm good.
Terry was in what, 3 fights total throughout the whole movie?
I don't think
That was
he won
including
one.
the bad guy?
Oh, no, the only one he won was the goon in the arcade.
Yes.
So he beats Laucorn by punching him really fucking hard after his girlfriend kills herself to weaken him. And
Okay.
then
Before that,
go ahead, because I'm
before the girlfriend,
Uh-huh.
she gives her Wizard of Oz speech.
yes,
and
yeah, yeah.
She gives everybody else their, you know, saying, let them know.
Joe, you were there, and Andy,
Right.
you were there too, and Mai,
Right.
stop being a slut.
Right. And I'm missing the most. Scarecrow.
That's right.
Yo, I legit.
The note on Brian's phone reads, "I'll miss you the most, Scarecrow." The thing is yeah, what do we know about Fatal Fury is that if you're gonna die a horrible, absolutely gut-wrenching death, you always have time to monologue before you pass out. You're good to go. You've got time.
Balls,
Or
3 stories on top of
monologue-
your head. You're gonna, you can talk. It's fine.
That's it.
We're
No
gonna
problem.
give you that.
Look, you can either monologue or you can teach somebody a uber super move.
That's right. You've got
Yes.
both options, really. And she had nothing to teach, so she got to talk to everybody.
And during that
Good ones.
time, no one administers first aid.
No one thinks, let's put pressure on the wound. Let's, no,
No.
she's got time to monologue.
Like,
She's
oh, no, she's a goner.
done.
It's like, the 1800s. It's like, oh, you got a wound, you're gonna die.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have cell phones, so they couldn't call 911. In the
And
middle.
the whole time, the bad guy's not even fighting them.
Because Laucorn's been defeated. Laucorn's like he's
Oh,
out
yeah,
for the count.
he did.
Yeah, his armor had been busted. He's on the
unconscious.
ground. He's
He's
like, "What have I
naked.
done, Sulia?" And then the armor suddenly goes T-1000, and it revives Gaudamus.
Look, I see Thunder. I want to go T-1000. I thought the armor went Madara.
All right.
I went
Take
full
it.
Madara. Infinite Tsukiyomi, and it came back. All that to
Fucking
say
A.
that even the armor coming back is implausible.
Whatever, man. So this is where I just want to, if I could just throw out from here to the end, I'd be fine.
Yes.
They could have ended this with him defeating Laucorn coming to grips with his sister's death, whatever. That could be the end of it.
Yeah.
But
Would have been just as impactful.
what happens is everything that they sacrifice for is like none of this is important.
None of this, because the god of war awakens, and for no reason whatsoever, no training montage, no character growth, no reason whatsoever, Harry starts glowing blue, crying blood,
Going Super Saiyan.
and screaming a lot.
Mhm.
But we haven't forgotten about the fact that everything that his new girlfriend died for is taken
On
away.
in a flash. Oh yeah, Laucorn. You saved Laucorn.
Yo,
Bye.
that, yeah. Like, seconds. Standing there.
I promise I'll save him. I'm not gonna keep him alive, but I did save him.
He was alive. You didn't
He
say
was
how
alive.
long he had to be alive.
Saved him. He chose to unalive himself.
Like, you saved him. He's not gonna live forever.
That
Oh,
point,
fuck.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Here's the thing, though.
No-
The dude tried
Nothing.
to fight naked. Tried to fight naked.
He
That
did.
was what he was like. He was like, you know what? This badass armor, I got this. Me and my birthday suit will win this day. And
So this whole last bit, Terry goes Super Saiyan magically, no reason. And how does he defeat the God of War? The same way he defeated Laucorn. He punches him really fucking hard. That's it. No new special move. No powered up technique. It's literally a standing burn knuckle. That's how he defeats the bad guy.
Just a strong punch.
That's it. How do we beat gods? Punch them really fucking hard. That's all you gotta do. Fine.
And scream. You gotta scream.
You
and
gotta
punch.
scream.
It's
Yeah,
safe
you
to-
gotta scream while you're doing it. It's a shame
Look,
because this is, in my opinion, and we've run long, so I'm sorry to you listeners who have to deal with this. So I'm gonna go ahead. My closing thoughts on this, I'm gonna take this. This is by a large, very wide margin, the best of the Fatal Fury trilogy.
really,
It is very far from a perfect movie. But it is overall the story is fun. It is much stronger than the first two. Sadly, the first two are required viewing. Terry and Andy, well, not Terry, Andy has a good character arc. And Maya and Joe are still relegated to side characters. So if you're really big stans of them, sorry, maybe just don't do it. But I do like this movie. Like I do. It's far from perfect. It's missing a lot of bits. But as far as fighting game anime movies go, it's a strong contender. It was fine. It's good. Brian, I hate to put you on the spot here, but I did see on your notes something about steroid usage, so I gotta know what that note was about. Calling it out.
This whole movie was basically about the approved use of steroids in fighters. Because everybody else is, I'm a strong fighter, I'm a strong fighter, I'm a strong fighter. Or, let me give you this little boost right here with this arm.
or the
Then-
mask,
Huh?
or the masks.
Or the mask. If you use these things, you don't even have to worry about being stronger. You just gotta hope that they don't get stronger. And more often than not, they're not. They're not gonna get stronger. They'll
No.
be able to beat everybody.
That's right.
Unless you threaten the girlfriend. My biggest problem with this is they kept on saying the quiet part out loud and everything,
Sure.
right? Us talking about them using the armor. Why did Jamin saying they should not be using armor?
Right. Because he has a moral compass, right?
Right.
Which, yeah.
You know, every problem that I had with it, they kept on saying it.
Sure.
Now, it's 10 times better than part 1 and part 2. And I'm glad this is the one that's the motion picture. But apparently, this was done by the guy who's been a part of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And everything that they learned, everything that they stood for in part 1 and 2, he throws out the fucking window. You know what? I'm not even going to base this on the video game. I'm going to make these characters up, and they're going to be straight booty. They're going to be horrible. I'm not like everything. He was there in animating part 1 for the glass to go out, just for him to bring that exact same damn plot point
Right.
in here. This was what would have happened if they didn't use it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I'll give you that.
I want to go home.
So-
I don't,
So, what,
I
Brian,
don't
are
want to do
you
this.
are you saying that you do not feel like this has held up at all, and people should just not bother?
Just buy the video game and play it. Just buy the video game, play it. The moves are much better. Tim Capuan is the one you should be playing. He has a better story than anybody in this motherfucker. He has kids.
He's got a reason to fight.
Right. So,
Oh
yeah.
shit. All right. Let's go over to you, Lynette. Your first time with the Fatal Fury trilogy, now ending it out. How did you feel about their third attempt?
First question, though.
Yeah.
Do you think you would ever love to play one of these games?
If I had to base it off of the movie, no. But basing it off of your guys' experience, yeah, sure.
So
That
then
didn't
the
sound
movie,
convincing. I'm just saying.
so honestly, then the movies failed because I
Yeah.
believe their only point was to get people to want to play the game.
But look, they fatally failed. They fatally failed.
Fatally. That notwithstanding, let's talk about how the anime worked for you, or did it?
I would say of the chili, the third one was probably the best. But overall, I'm gonna roll back to Joe's Joe's statement, and an hour in, that was an uncool start. You can't. you
There's
can't.
no recovering.
There's no recovery for this. You know, I love the end fight. I did not like that fight scene in the arcade. That was terrible. That looked like somebody spilt coffee while they were, they just went, oh, we just bled all the colors. It's okay. We don't have time. Just keep going. No one will notice. No one will notice.
On the 30 screen in the movie theaters, nobody's going to notice. It's going to be fine.
I will have to say with this one, at least it had a storyline to go through. I still don't understand how Terry is the hero. I also feel like Terry is cursed. Like every single one of his girls either falls on their head or stabs himself in the chest.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
So
you can't
at
even
one-
blame it on sex. He doesn't have sex with her.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
see,
right,
that's
yeah.
the thing. That's the thing. That's where Terry should kind of self-reflect. I don't think it's the girl. I think it's him, and he needs to go and better himself.
Like,
Because
All in love with them, and they are so terrified that they're offing themselves.
It's like,
Right?
yeah, if you
Yes,
have a
oh,
vagina, just
dude.
stay out of his orbit.
he has offer too. I will have to say his hat changed. I don't know if anybody noticed, but throughout the movie, I think his hat changed. Like the metal piece got bigger and smaller and bent
Oh, yeah.
at times.
It's like his
And
muscle
then-
mass.
Right? Yeah, it was very weird. I would have to, the way I would end it is the same way they ended it, is when Terry threw his hat in the air. Because I would have done the same thing with watching the whole trilogy. I'd have just been like, you know what, forget it. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
Just
you just went for it much sooner.
Yeah, right. It was a bit
yeah, right.
sooner.
So that's how
Oh,
I would say it.
jeez.
I end with that was an uncool start.
That was an uncool finish. That's shit.
It was very much. Oh man! All right, Vic, it's on to you, my friend. Go for it.
Okay, as a fan of the games, I mean, you guys saw that the last two shows I had my MVS carts next to me, and right now I'm sitting with the Game Gear version of Fatal Fury.
Yeah.
I feel like
Even that doesn't matter. Even that
feel-
doesn't.
it matters. If you really, really, really want to watch the trilogy, I think there's a perfect way to watch it. Okay? First, ignore the first movie altogether, grab the game, set the difficulty to 8, start playing as Joe. Right? Get your ass handed to you every single time. Okay, great. Then set the difficulty back to normal. Play as Andy, make it all the way to Geese and lose, and then beat it with Terry. Boom. You get the first movie covered. Then you can watch 2 and 3. I feel like that is quite possibly the easiest way to watch this trilogy.
Oh, that's fucking gold.
So, like everyone said, this was definitely the better of the 3 by a long shot. Unfortunately, some of the scenes seemed like they were done by the guys that did a lot of the action scenes from the first one, which were god awful.
Really?
They just were not up to the task of doing the art justice at all. But overall, because they didn't pull out the paper thin script from any of the games, they didn't bother. Going with an original script was probably the better call for this movie. Was it perfect? Not whatsoever. The Street Fighter 2 animated movie was by far better. Is it a horrible movie? I guess you'll find out after you watch some of the other SNK animated movies. But yeah, it's not worth going out of your way to watch. But if you're going to watch it, just like I said, play the game, then watch 2 and 3. And call it a day.
All right. So before we close out, I do have a couple mindless musings, things that we haven't done for the other two, because why the fuck would we? So one of the things, typical Masami Obari trope is hidden nudity. There's a fuck ton of hidden nudity in this.
Yo.
Lots of, if you frame by frame advance on any
Nip
scene
slips.
where any female fighter is in, there are going to be nipples all over the place. It's just, there's lots of hidden nudity in this. Obari does it in a lot of his anime. So there's a fun little Easter egg hunt for you.
I think we should challenge Andrea to put that in the show notes.
we'll be very demonetized if we tried to show it on the YouTube channel. So
Just put timestamp.
the timestamps. The English dub was done, of course, by Viz's typical crew of Canadian All-Stars. Mark Hildreth played Terry. He was like Hero on Gundam Wing. He's done a ton of TV movies. Miriam Steroy, I probably mispronounced her name. She played Sulia. She was Akane Tendo for all of Ranma. She was Akane for basically the entire run of that. Jason Gray Stanford is everybody's favorite Joe. He was like Raditz and DBZ. He's done all these guys have long pedigrees of voice acting.
For Raditz.
Lots of voice acting credits. With these people. Yeah, lots of it. Matt Horn, the guy who played Laucorn, he was Ed and Ed, Ed and Eddie. He was in Ranma 1/2. He was in Inuyasha. So, I mean, these guys are all world-class voice actors. But just a fun shit. And I got one more for you. This one was weird, and I encourage any listener who just really feels like going down a weird internet rabbit hole. Apparently, the female villain, Pani, is related to Athena Asamiya from the King of Fighters series. They're like half-sisters. I don't know. Some kind of extended universe thing. I don't fucking know. It was just a note I found, and I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. So, there you go. Some fun little it's for you. All right, folks. Well, that's going to be our show for today. So until next time, keep calm and, I don't know, remember when fighting a god to cry blood and punch them really fucking hard.
Come on. No. You give me one more.
You got one?
You can do better.
I got nothing.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, keep calm and let your fury be fatal.
Let your fury be fatal. All right. Let's go with it. I like it.
All right. So say it in your voice.
So until next time, keep calm and let your fury be fatal.
Much better.
That's a much better closing. I approve. Thank you for saving the end of the show. It's a better ending than Fatal Fury the motion picture.
You've just been privy to the mindless midlife musings of the anime nerd, presented by Geek Grotto. Follow the podcast on Twitter at Geek Grotto. For show notes and corrections, or for general geeky fun, you can visit our website at geek-grotto.com. If you would like to sponsor the show, you can do so on the podcast's Red Circle host site, redcircle.com/shows/MMMAN. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app, please like, follow, and subscribe.